So this is Radharasa Sudanidhi, and we finished describing selected verses from Prabhupada Saraswati's immortal work, Radharasa Sudanidhi, glorifying the Radha Charana Mahima, the glories of Radharani's name. Now he's right in the beginning, which is interesting. He has a verse where he glorifies Radharani's feet. So we'll spend a few days at Radharani's feet, which is a good place to stay today, tomorrow, and forever. To be eternally fixed and fastened and held to the feet of Radharani. This is a great perfection. Ai nanda tanaja kinkaram patitam bam vishameva vambado kripaya tava parapankaja stita duli sadrisham vichintaya. This is exactly the prayer of Krishna. Krishna is also praying to Nanda Nandan. Krishna is praying to Nanda Nandan in Shikshastakam. Hey Nanda Nandan, O son of Nanda Maharaj. So who's praying now? It's Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna in Radha Bhav. So actually Radharani is praying. The Shikshastakam prayer is spoken by Radharani. Govinda Virahena Me. All the words are about Krishna. Govinda Virahena Me, Nanda Nandan, Prananath. So therefore all the naam of that is Radharani calling out to Krishna. Radharani feeling separation from Krishna. So in this prayer, which represents the state of asakti, attachment in bhakti, we have Shraddha, then Sarasanga, Bhajana Kriya, Anartha-Nivritti, then Nishtha, then Ruchi. Ruchi is then Nadanam Najanam Sundaram. Then Nishtha is Trinadapi Sunichena. And now Asakti is this. So now Krishna is praying to Radharani, please attach me to your lotus feet. That makes sense. Radharani is the purest devotee of Krishna. She always wants to be fixed and fastened at the lotus feet of Krishna. Nandan, hey, I Nanda Nandan, I Nanda Tanuja Kinkaram, I'm your Kinkari, I'm your maidservant, Kinkara or Kinkari means servant, male or female, Kinkara or Kinkari. I am your servant, that is my eternal position, I have no other position, I am not your Lord, I am not your controller, I am not your master, I am your servant. This is my identity, eternally. Ainanda Tanashi Kinkaram. Patitam mam vishame babam bodo. I am drowning this ocean of separation from you. Patitam mam. I am very fallen. I have fallen into an ocean of separation from you. Where are you? Hey Krishna. Hey Rad. Hey Krishna. What was it? Hey Rad. Hey Vrajadevike. Hey Krishna, where are you? Oh Nanda Nandan. I'm Patita. I've fallen into this terrible ocean of separation. And I'm suffering. Stita duli sadrisham. Stita duli sadrisham. Stita duli. Fix me. Just fix me as a duli, as a piece of dust, a particle of dust at your feet. This is what I'm begging you. So Radharani is begging, Krishna, pick me up. Don't leave me alone. Come back to me. I'm naturally attached to you, and you're naturally attached to me. I should be with you at every moment. Why have you gone to Mathura? Why have you gone to Dwarka? So this is from her perspective. So here, for the bhaktas, we're praying, oh Krishna, we're in the bhava-ambudhi. We're not in the bhava-ambudhi. For Radharani, it's bhava-ambudhi. Ai nanda tanushakinkaram patitam ma vishame bhavambudo. Vishame bhavambudo. Vishame bhavambudo means, visha means poisonous ocean of material existence. Vishame bhavambudo. Bhavambudo. But for Radharani, it's Visha Bhava Ambudhi. It's a bhava, she's feeling the poison, Visha, poison of the drowning, she's drowning in an ocean of poison of separation. It's bhava, Visha Bhava. At any rate, this is some internal other point. But here in this prayer, we would pray that Krishna would pick us up from this ocean of material existence and keep us fixed in Adam at the dust of his lotus feet. So here, the Vaishnava, the Gaudiya Vaishnava is praying, "O Radharani, please pick me up from the ocean of material distress and fix me as an atom of dust in your lotus feet." Because the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, they want to please Krishna. They want to please Krishna and satisfy Krishna by pleasing his devotee. Because in innumerable places Krishna says, one who says he's my devotee is not my devotee. But one who is devoted to my devotee and one who serves my devotee, I very much appreciate him and I'm very much grateful and like him. I consider him my devotee. So the best way to serve Krishna is to serve his devotees. Das, das, ano das. Gopi Bhartu Padakamalayur. Das, das, ano das. So that philosophy is perfected in Gaudiya Vaishnavism, and the concept is known as Radha Dasyam. So all of our Goswamis have taught and written, especially Prabodhananda Saraswati, Rupa Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, etc., that the perfection of life is become a servant of Srimati Radharani. Become a maidservant of Radharani. Of course, we may have a different Sthayi Bhav. We may be in Sakya-ras, become a servant of Krishna or Balaram, or rarely, maybe, Vatsalya-ras, it's possible. But generally what's being presented in totality of Gaudiya Vaishnavism is to become a maidservant of Srimati Radharani, to become her servant. So then our angle of vision is, yes, I want, yes, Krishna, please, we will pray to Krishna. Krishna, please pick me up from this ocean of material suffering, of birth and death, and this ocean of forgetfulness from you, and fix me as an atom of in the dust of Radharani's lotus feet. This will be our modification of the prayer. Because every one of our acharyas in the parampara, they're all maidservants of Radharani. Everyone. Srila Prabhupada, Bhaktisanta Saraswati, Gaura Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj, and all Vishwanath, Chakravarti, Baladev, Vidyabhushan, Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, Sad Goswamis, they're all in the service of the lotus feet of Radharani. And we're reading their books, and we're studying their books, and we're worshipping them, and we're praying to them. So, where can we end up? Where will we end up? We have to end up with them. Like once they asked Prabhupada, well, Prabhupada, you sometimes you say that you'll be leaving us soon, that you're an old man, 70 is already gone, and you can leave at any moment, and we have to get serious. But Prabhupada, how, without you, how will we carry on? And you're everything for us. I mean, for us, Krishna consciousness means you. Prabhupada, for us, Krishna consciousness means Prabhupada consciousness. And Prabhupada said this, and Prabhupada said that, and we're doing this because Prabhupada wants it like this, and Prabhupada will be happy if we do it like this, and we want to please Prabhupada. Krishna is so far away from us, we don't really know or understand Krishna. And we know and perceive something about you. You are everything. So, if you leave this world and you go back to Krishna, what's going to happen to us? It's where will we go? Where will we go when we die? Because we're always thinking of you and serving you. Then Prabhupada answered, said, if you're always thinking of me and serving me, then you'll come to me. You'll be with me. And then the devotee said, well, Prabhupada, you'll be with Radha and Krishna. You'll be in the spiritual world with Radha and Krishna. Well, that's right. And so will you. Because if I'm there and you're with me, then we'll all be together, serving the lotus feet of Radharani. So this is a very joyous prospect, very positive potential being presented before us. So this group of verses talks about, in general, it talks about Radha Rup Mahima, and we'll discuss different aspects of Radharani's transcendental form, the glories, the Mahima, the glories, the fame, name, glories of Radharani's form. And this particular verse, it's verse number 2, which describes something about the overall effect of Radharani. Just the overall effect of Radharani's beauty. It's called her, you can say her, Radha's prabhav, her influence, her effect. Yasya kadapi vasanan chalakela nota danyati danya pavanena kritartamani yoginja durga magatir madhusudanopi tasya namostu Vrishabhanu Bhuvo Dishepi. This is a very nice verse. Yogendra Durga Magatir Madhusudana. Danya Pavanena Kritardhamani. The translation is, even Madhusudana Krishna, who is very hard to attain, Yogindra Durgamagati, Durgama. Gama means to go. It's Gati, go to that goal. Durgamagatir, the destiny or the goal. Gati. Durgama means it's very hard to go there. It's very difficult, very hard to go there. Yogindra, the greatest king of yogis, have a very great difficult time going there or attaining Krishna. Krishna is hard to attain even by the best of yogis, Yogi Raj or Yogindra. But that Krishna, who is Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, as Sanjay is telling in Bhagavad Gita, verse 70 of 18th chapter, Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, Tatra Partha Dhanurdhara, he's saying that Krishna is the Yogeshwara. Krishna is the yogi of all yogis, the Ishvara, the controller of all yogis. That greatest yogi himself, Krishna, he feels himself greatly blessed. He feels actually blessed. Ati Danya. Danyati Danya. Danyati Danya. Ati means excessively or greatly. Greatly blessed, not only blessed but fortunate. He's wealthy. When he is touched by even the slightest playful breeze coming from the tip of Radhika's garment. I offer my obeisances to any direction in which I may find the daughter of Vrishabhanu. Tasya namostu Vrishabhanu bhavo dishe pi. Dishe means dig. Dishe means direction. He's saying namostu. I offer my obeisances. In any direction where Vrishabhanu Nandini is, I offer my obeisances. She's so glorious. So, this verse is telling that Radharani's form, her transcendental form, her sweetness, her beauty, her qualities, the overall presentation is so astounding and so amazing that simply a little breeze, a little wind blows from her body and passes over her garment, passes by her sari, and then it goes downwind or it goes to some distance, and Krishna feels that breeze, that wind. As soon as he feels it, he feels, oh, I'm so fortunate, I'm so blessed, I'm Ati Danya. Ati Danya means I'm very wealthy, excessively wealthy. Today I received a great fortune, a great wealth has come to me, because some of the wind has blown by Radharani, and that same wind that blew over her body is now blowing on my body. How fortunate I am. So right now we're turning our fans and blowing the wind from our bodies all over each other. But no one's considering themselves very fortunate by that. But this verse, Prabhupada Saraswati, of course there's a pastime behind it which he's seeing, but he's explaining that the breeze alone maddens Krishna. He becomes completely maddened just by the breeze from the border, Vasana Anchala, the Kela, the playful breeze which arises from the border of Radharani's dress. So the whole idea is that when we hear about the Mahima, the Na Mahima, the Rup Mahima, the Guna Mahima, and the Lila Mahima of Radha, of Radharani, then we can have some appreciation. First, knowledge. We acquire some knowledge. Then that knowledge breeds or generates appreciation. It generates appreciation and, of course, understanding and perception. And then following that, or consequent to that, may come desire. Because it's impossible to desire something you don't know about. It's impossible to desire something you've never perceived. It's impossible to desire something you never heard about. Think about that. Can you desire something you've never seen? Can you desire something you never heard about? So to desire Radharani, to desire to serve Radha, or to become her maidservant, or Palyadasi, protected maidservant, or to become her mandri, or her eternal maidservant in Braja Gokul. How can you develop that desire if you don't know anything about the mistress, or you don't know anything about the person? You don't know anything about the glories of their name, or their form, or their qualities, or their pastimes. It becomes a very empty desire, a very inconsequential desire, which will not generate very much energy, or not generate very much enthusiasm, or action on the path of devotion towards her lotus feet. So therefore, these subjects are being discussed. So this is one point, and then of course we'll continue a little bit more tomorrow. But there's this word is Madhusudan, because every word, of course, has so many meanings. But Madhusudan has, in the beginning of creation, when Brahma was have the Vedic literatures, had the Vedas, there were two demons that appeared from Brahma. I think they appeared from his nostril, or they came out of his breath or something. And their name was Madhu and Kaitab. Madhu and Kaitab. And then when they came out, then they stole the Vedas and ran away. They stole the books of knowledge. And they ran away from Brahma. And then Brahma said, oh my God, these guys just stole all the knowledge. So there was no more knowledge in the universe. All the knowledge, all the books of knowledge were stolen. They took the knowledge. We don't really know if it was books. It's not really described books, but they stole the knowledge. It's described that he was manifesting Vedic knowledge, Brahma, and then Madhu and Kaitab came out and stole it. So that sometimes the acharyas, they give classes and they say that Madhu and Kaitab, they represent some qualities, how we lose knowledge. The Madhu and Kaitab, they represent one of them I think represents forgetfulness, and then the other one is some other thing. Anyway, I have it in one of my notes. I can't, but they're I can say metaphorical personalities, but they have form also. Metaphorical and form, they have form. So they took the Vedas, and then Brahma was bewildered. All the knowledge was stolen. His storehouse of knowledge was stolen. Then he started crying, Vishnu, Vishnu. So he cried to Vishnu. He said, listen, they stole the knowledge. His Madhu and Kaitab, they took the knowledge and ran off somewhere. And he was unhappy, like a baby when you steal his candy. You take the candy away from a baby, he cries. So Brahma, his candy is knowledge. That's his candy. A Brahman, his asset is his wealth. His wealth is his books. So if you steal all the Brahman's books, he'll cry. Definitely. And a Kshatriya, if you steal all his horses, he'll start crying. So then Vishnu said, listen, don't cry, it's okay. Don't be unhappy. So then Vishnu went and he found his Kaitab and Madhu, then he knocked them off. He killed them. So for killing them, he got the name Madhusudan. But acharyas say that Prabhupada Saraswati is not so much interested with the killer of the Madhu demon, but he's interested with Radha and Krishna, Yugal, and the worship of Radha and Krishna Yugal. So when he uses the word Madhusudan in this verse, he's thinking of another meaning of Madhusudan. Madhu means honey. Madhu, shahad, honey, nectar, sweetness. And Sudan means, Madhu means sweet, and Suda means nectar. So he's saying that Krishna is that person who likes to drink sweet nectar, Madhusudan. And where does he find that sweet nectar? He finds that sweet nectar in the lips of Radharani. So therefore, when the breeze blows, this breeze is blowing, Vasan Anchala Kelanota. When the breeze blows by the corner of Radharani's garment, and then Krishna is down somewhere removed from where Radharani is, but he just smells the fragrance of her garments or her body. As soon as he smells that fragrance, then he becomes extremely, it says, he feels very blessed. Not only does he feel blessed, but he feels induced. He feels very much enthused or induced by that udipan. Udipan means stimulant to ras, excitant. A rasa excitant is called udipan. And then when his his sthayi bhav, his permanent loving mood of love towards Radharani, to serve Radharani, to love Radharani, becomes stimulated by the input of that breeze, that fragrant breeze. Then when he smells it, just for example, then he becomes stimulated. Oh, that's Radharani. That's Radharani's fragrance. The wind is carrying Radharani's fragrance. Then he becomes excited. Oh, I don't just want to smell the fragrance of Radharani's form. I want to taste the nectar of Radharani's lips. So therefore, he's Madhusudan. So that's what's being said here. But this breeze becomes a stimulant for further association and pastimes. We have the same experience. If you are somewhere in the house and someone throws a chunk, it's called chunk, when you throw spices in the ghee. Chunk? Hindi is chunk. So when someone throws a chunk and the jeera is frying in the ghee and the hing is frying, chunk. Yeah, chunk. When they throw the chunk, and then you smell that, and when you smell that, what happens? You get hungry. You go, wow, that smells good. I'm hungry. Even if you weren't hungry, even if you already had lunch, or you already ate somewhere and you already had your lunch, then you go to visit a friend, and your friend's there, you're talking to your friend in the living room, and his wife or mother or whatever is in that kitchen making some lunch for him, some prasadam, and you go, as soon as you smell it, you go, you try to eat, oh, that smells good, or you become hungry, you become interested in eating, it stimulates your sthayi bhav for eating, because we always have a permanent mellow of eating, desire to eat in our heart. So if something stimulates that, then that becomes an udipan for our permanent loving mood. We have a permanent mood in our heart. It's called sthayi bhav. A permanent mood, a permanent feeling. I love to eat. So if I see any good food, I want to eat it. If I smell any good food, I want to eat it. If I hear about any good food, I want to eat it. Because all these are stimulants, excitants. So it's the same thing. Krishna smells Radharani. Smells good. She smells really good. I want to meet her. I want to see her. I want to kiss her and taste the nectar of her lips. Yes.
Maharaj, you said that in our line, in Gauriya Vaishnava Sampradaya, there's always Madhurya Rasa. They want to become the...
Generally, everyone in our line is...
So, does that mean that if we are in Gauriya Vaishnava Sampradaya, we can't have any other...
No, whatever your sthayi bhav, whatever your atma is designated at, you will realize at the point of bhava.
So that never changes.
So that's fixed. It never changes. That's eternal. That's what it means. Siddhadeya. The word siddha means perfect. Perfect means eternal. So siddhadeya can never change. Siddhadeya is eternally existing. Siddhadeya is eternally existing in the spiritual world. And how Krishna wants you to serve him, in what particular mood or what particular form, that's designated. That's part of your Satchidananda, your primordial being. You're eternal. Everything's eternal. Nothing. All of a sudden now you become something. You can't become something. If you're eternal, you can't become something. You can't become. Then it's not eternal. Your spiritual form is not eternal. And you're not eternal. We are eternal living entities. So our spiritual body is also eternal. And now we're Nityabhata, so we're eternally in this position. So as soon as this anadi, it's beginningless time, we've been in this material situation. But our spiritual form is also there. So when we're ready to accept it, we will be granted it. It will be revealed to us. So that spiritual form may be in Madhurya Ras, maybe in Vatsalya Ras, maybe in Sakya Ras or Dasya Ras. Generally, what the acharyas say is that because Krishna is in the heart directing everyone, and he knows everything, past, present, and future, for all time, because he's directing everything, those that come on this side of the fence, they come to this sampradaya, generally they'll be inclined towards worshipping Gauranga. And worshipping a Gauranga generally means Madhurya Bhav, Braja Bhav, Madhurya Bhav. All this says in Chaitanya Charitamrita, there's Chatur Bhava, it says Chatur Braja Bhava. He says Lord Chaitanya came to describe the 4 bhavas of Braj. Chatur Bhava. Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya, Madhurya. However, that he described those, but in describing those, he's actually pointing and indicating and emphasizing Madhurya Bhav, and especially Manjari Bhav, to worship Radharani as her maidservant. This is the speciality. Anarpita Churim Chirat. Right? There's this verse. It says Swabhakti Shriyam. The second line is Swabhakti Shriyam. This is Adi Lila Chaitanya Charitamrita, verse 4 or 6, which is describing the very unique contribution of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Anarpita Tridam Chirat. He's come to give what has never been given before. Dasya Bhakti has been given before, the service in Dasya Ras. But this Braj Bhakti has never been given before by any other incarnation, even Krishna himself. He showed it, but he didn't distribute it. So Lord Chaitanya has come to distribute Braj Bhakti, but then the second line says Swabhakti Shriyam, which means her own bhakti, the beauty and effulgence of her own bhakti. Swa means Radharani's bhakti, Swa Bhakti, Swabhakti Shriyam. The bhakti of Shri or Swa means my own. So my own, what is the bhakti of Gauranga? The bhakti of Gauranga is Radha Mahabhav. Lord Krishna came in the form of Mahaprabhu to experience Radha Bhav and basically distributes Swabhakti Shriyam. So all the acharyas are manjaris, and all their books are about Manjari Bhav, primarily. There are very few exceptions. Not in our Goswamis, at least. You can find some lines of devotees coming from Nityananda that are propagating Sakya Ras. So really, in the Gaudiya Sampradaya, primarily there are 2 Braja Rasas available, Sakya Ras and Madhurya Ras. And Madhurya Ras means Manjari Bhav, the service of Radharani. This is and if it's not the service of Radharani, then it would be Sakya Ras and be the service of Krishna and Balaram under the guidance of Subal and Sridham. But this is very, very minor point, minor rasa, not very much in terms of totality of teachers, acharyas. Gadadhar's line is Madhurya Ras. Nityananda's line is Madhurya Ras. Advaita's line is Madhurya Ras. But there are some followers in Nityananda that are teaching, or we can say describing Sakya Ras. Hridaya Chaitanya, some others are there. But you have a hard time finding books and teachings and teachers to learn about Sakya Ras. Really hard time. And when one comes to the time when he needs to know all these details, and Krishna will adjust everything, that you'll find the proper books, you'll find the proper Shiksha Gurus. So now everyone in Gaudiya Sampradaya, they can just follow the path of the Goswamis, which is the path of Braj Bhakti, basically Radhadasyam, and then which is the topmost thing of Madhurya Ras. And then if your Ras is less than that, then that will be settled up when it's time. Because everything that's in Madhurya Ras includes everything. It includes Vatsalya Ras and Sakya Ras, everything is there. So if you have $1,000, you're working towards getting $1,000, and then you get $1,000, but actually you only need your bill is only $500. Oh, anyway, I got a few extra dollars, so there's no loss. So this is why everyone basically, because you see in Gaudiya Vaishnavism everywhere, mostly everyone worships Radha and Krishna and Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu is Radha and Krishna Yugo. Prabhupada introduced the worship of Gaur Nitai. But Gaudiya Math is only Mahaprabhu and Radha and Krishna. And Prabhupada's first deity was Mahaprabhu. And his deity in Jhansi is Mahaprabhu. As his first deity he worshipped publicly, Mahaprabhu. Rasaraj Mahabhav, Radha and Krishna. And then the first deity of Mayapur is Mahaprabhu. ISKCON Mayapur, Mahaprabhu, Radha and Krishna. When he went to the West, then he introduced Gaur Nitai worship. The beginning of Gaur Nitai worship was in the West, in New York. I went to New York. Then he introduced. He said, "Well, these guys are really fallen. They're all Mayavadis. So if I introduce only Mahaprabhu, they'll think it's all Mayavad, and they really need the mercy of Nitai." So then he introduced Gaur Nitai worship. It's like this. What she said? I don't know.
Can she also be served Gaur Nitai?
Very good. Very good. Serve them. And pray to Nityananda that you can give up sense gratification. And when you can give up sense gratification, then you can worship Lord Chaitanya. When you worship Lord Chaitanya, free from sense gratification, then you can enter Vrindavan. Vishayacharya kabe shura habe man shura habe kabe habe herabo Shri Vrindavan Dham. So Nityananda will help us. Nityananda's kripa will help us become free from sense gratification. And by his mercy we can worship Lord Gauranga, just like Raghunath Das Goswami. Nitai kripa came on his head, he got free from sense gratification. When he got free from sense gratification, he went to Puri. Then he could worship Sakshat Gauranga. Then he worshipped Gauranga, he got to go to Vrindavan. And in Vrindavan he got to worship Radha and Krishna under the guidance of Rupa and Rati. Rupa and Rati. It's like this. We follow footsteps.
So we only gain knowledge of our position when we go back to Radha?
No. At the level of ruchi, you'll start to understand. There's nishta. After nishta, there comes ruchi. At the level of ruchi, in bhajan ruchi, one will have the first understanding of what is his sthayi bhav, his permanent loving mellow towards Krishna. That's here in this world, in this body, in this material body. And one will realize his individual Siddhadeha with the 11 symptoms of the Siddhadeha. It's called Ekadash Bhav. He'll realize the 11 symptoms at the level of Bhava Bhakti. Ruchi, Asakti, Bhava. Here, in this world, right now, in Gurukul. Or postgraduate Gurukul, whatever. Graduate school, graduate Gurukul.
So he told me in a very nice way, which was very clear. He said that if you go to a university like UCLA, University of California, Los Angeles, he said you go there and there are many degrees available out there. But he's saying, but always you have one university or a school which specializes in one subject. Like it will specialize in mathematics. If it is specialized in mathematics, then the professors are specialists in mathematics. We have all books available for mathematics. We have all equipment available if needed any, so that you can excel in mathematics. And then you have other subjects also available. So you can take those other subjects. They are available in that university, but it specializes. Similarly, he says that in the Gaudiya line, Madhurya Bhav is the speciality. And then you can take on, if you have attraction towards the other rasas, then you can.
That will be told. Time will tell, as they say. Time will tell all.
So the same, like Shri Prabhupada, the same teacher could be like in different bhav and the disciple could be in different.
Yes. The teacher has 2 PhDs. He has a PhD in biology. He has a PhD in math. Then he can train you in biology and he can train you in math. So if he has a PhD in Madhurya Ras, he can train you in Madhurya Ras because Madhurya Ras includes all 5. Madhurya Ras means 4 PhDs. He has a PhD in Dasya Ras, he has a PhD in Sakya Ras, he has a PhD in Vatsalya Ras and Madhurya Ras. So he has 4 PhDs. He's not there. Valedictorian. Basically in Braj, everything is Madhurya Ras. Everything. The land is Madhurya Ras, the water is Madhurya Ras. You already heard. You heard in Mayapur, the Ganga is having Madhurya Ras. The Ganga is water. And the Ganga is having transcendental experiences by feeling the body. Ganga is feeling transcendental experiences by touching the body of Gauranga. These are Madhurya ecstasies. So in Braj, everything is ultimately Madhurya. Everything is contributing to the pastimes of Radha and Krishna, and the land, the trees, the birds, the bees, the Yashoda, everyone is actually relishing the sweetness of Radha and Krishna's pastimes and contributing to and helping towards the nourishment of their pastimes. Nanda Baba, everyone, ultimately. Ultimately, it's all Madhurya Ras. And that can be seen when one actually studies Shastra. Jai Gaur Prenandi Hari Hari Bol. Radharasa Sudanidhi, we're discussing yesterday verse 2, beginning to describe Radha's Rupa Mahima, the glories of Radharani's transcendental, sweet and beautiful form, and the different aspects of her form. So as an introduction to this discussion, we cited one verse in number 2, where Raghunath Das Goswami is explaining the tremendous prabhav of Radharani, how much she can affect Krishna, that when Krishna is situated at some place, some distance from Radharani, downwind or somewhat removed, and the breeze or the wind blows over Radharani's body and picks up some of the fragrance of her body or her garland or her cloth or her person, and that fragrant laden breeze continues to move down some distance, and Krishna is in some separate place, and that wind passes his way, and he smells that breeze passing over Radharani's body with that tremendous, all-attractive fragrance, then he becomes very excited and says that he feels himself blessed. Krishna feels, I'm very blessed. Just if the wind from Radharani's body blows by me, I consider myself blessed and fortunate. If I'm touched even by the slightest playful breeze coming from the tip of Radhika's garment. And then how does he respond to that? How does he respond to that? And it says that Namostu Brishabhanu Bhuvo Dishepi. Dishe means direction. That when Krishna, he feels, I'm so fortunate. I feel blessed that the breeze from Radharani's body is blown my way, and I'm smelling that fragrance, and therefore I offer my namaste, my respects to that dish or dig. We say dig in Hindi, dig. To that direction, I offer my respects, because he feels, I've received blessings from this northern direction, because the northern direction has brought this wind to me. So at certain times, Radhika is staying at Yavat, which is halfway between Nandagram and Koshi. Sometimes Radha stays with her parents in Barsana, which is 40 kilometers west of Vrindavan. Devotees that are fixed in Smaran know exactly in which direction they can find her. So here, the Pandit is explaining that devotees that are really fixed in remembering Vrindavan, thinking about Vrindavan, in other words, we can draw from Krishna's Leela, which is Krishna's Leela is of itself and by itself and for itself. It's for His pleasure and of His pleasure. But we can also draw teachings from it. As I mentioned, when we study scriptures, there are 3 different levels. One is the transcendental level, one is the subtle level and the mind, and the other is the gross level. So one level we can think, another level is, what does this verse mean to Krishna? What does this verse mean to me? And what does this verse mean to others? So this verse has its own meaning for Krishna, because this is Leela Vichar. This is about Leela. This verse is describing Krishna Leela, Prem Leela, Ras Leela. This is about Radha and Krishna, Rahasya Leela, confidential, internal, spiritual, transcendental Leela. So what does it have to do with me? Can I draw some teaching for me on my level? There's the Divya Vichar, and there's Adi Bhautika Vichar, and there's Adi Daivaka Vichar, which means the Divya or transcendental level. Then there's Adi Bhautika Vichar, which means the physical or this level. And then there's Adi Atmika Vichar, which means the consideration of me. Atma means myself. These are 3 considerations, 3 viewpoints of any shloka from Shastra. So we see here that Krishna, Bhagavan Sri Krishna, he's in Vrindavan. He's living in Vrindavan. and he is in Nandagram, and then Radharani is in Barsana, and the wind is blowing from the south. The wind is blowing from the south, and which means it's blowing from the south going to the north. So when Radharani's standing, when she's standing on the veranda of her palace in Barsana, as we often do, when we go to Barsana and visit Larali ji, then we go out to her veranda of her palace and we look north towards Nandagram. And if it's a clear day, we can see the palace of Nanda Baba to the north. And because it's there, on the next hill north is Nanda Baba. So Radharani's standing there also in the morning after she leaves Krishna. She's looking to the north towards Nandagram. And the wind is blowing from the south, from Govardhan. And the wind passes over her body and catches her fragrance. And she's just wearing a beautiful fresh garland of gardenia flowers that has just come from Prem Kishore Manjari's garden. Prem Kishore Manjari's garden. These beautiful gardenias. She's wearing a full garland with 108 gardenias, and reminding her of the rasa dance. And then she has so much beautiful ointments on, kasturi, and her body itself smells so beautiful, like chandan and kapur and kasturi and nila padma, blue lotus. So this breeze from the south picks up that fragrance of the garland and Radharani's body and blows north, 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 and it goes to Nandagram. And Krishna, he is in his room. He is in his room pretending to sleep. Because he has just left Radharani, he's left Nikunja Lila, he's left Nidhiban, he's jumped into bed and pulled a sheet over his head, pretending to sleep. And then in the window comes this fragrance. This fragrance comes in the window, and Krishna smells once, twice, thrice. Because anything good should be done 3 times for confirmation. Harinam, 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 Eva Kevalam. Kalo Anasteva, 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 Gatiranditam. For emphasis, to emphasize the event, to increase the depth of absorption in the experience. Once, twice, thrice. When Krishna felt so blessed, oh, what a truly fortunate day, what a mangala, this is really Ati Mangala Titi. Ati Mangala Titi. Ati Mangala Deen. This is a most auspicious day. Most auspicious and wonderful day, that this wind has brought me a great fortune. This wind has united me with my beloved. This wind has united me with my beloved. Therefore, let me show my appreciation, my gratitude, and my respect. So that's why it's being said here by Rati Manjari, by Tungavidya, by Prabhupada. Namaste Vrishabhana Bhuvo Dishe Pi. I offer my obeisances. I turn to the south, look towards the south, and I fold my hands and I look out the window and I offer my obeisances in the direction south, in the direction of Barsana. I say, Vrishabhanu Nandini Ki Jai. Thank you, Vrishabhanu Nandini. Thank you, southern direction. This was it Dakshin? I think it's Dakshin. Dakshin Dig. Thank you. And thank you, Vayudev, or Vayu Maharaj. Dakshin is south, I believe. North is Uttar. And west is Paschim. And east is Purva. Is it right? Yes, yes, or no, no? Yes, no? No, yes. So, this is what's being told here. Now, what does this verse have to do with me? Because we're told here that devotees that are fixed in Smaran, they know about Radharani's itinerary. They know that Radharani moves. That sometimes she's with her mother, and sometimes she's with her mother-in-law. Her mother-in-law's name is Jatila. And her mother's name is Kirtida. Kirtida. So 3 months a year Radharani's with her mother, and 3 months a year she's with her mother-in-law. So January, February, March, Radharani's with her mother in Barsana, so she can play holy with Krishna in Gavarvan. And then January, February, March. Then April, May, and June, when it's too hot to play, she's with her mother-in-law, because the heat of the day matches her mother-in-law's temperament. Her mother-in-law is hot-headed. So then she's in Yavat. Then July, August, and September, which is Shravan Mas, and Julan time, and Janmastami, and Radhastami. Radharani is in Barsana. Then September, October, and November, Radharani is in Yavat. Right? So devotees know this. So wherever they are in Vrindavan, in the morning when they get up, they think, oh, where is my Radharani now? Now my Radharani's in Yavat. Yavat is in that direction. So let me pay obeisances to the direction of Yavat. Because my Vrishabhanu Nandini, my Swamini, she's there. So if I'm in, then she's in Barsana. Oh, let me pay my obeisances in direction of Barsana. So this is what's being told here. That following Rupa Raghunatha Padi Hoibe Akuti, one should be eager to follow in the footsteps of Raghunath Das Goswami and Rupa Goswami in his Sadhaka Rup, and his someday, when it's there, his Siddha Rup. His meditative service, and his external service. So this is the idea. And then if we're not in Brajabhumi, it's a very common practice that I've sometimes traveled with people from Vrindavan, and we've gone to Mayapur. We went to Ekachakra, and then we went to Mayapur. And then when they were sleeping, I noticed one day we were sleeping, and I was making a very... I wanted to sleep, make sure I was pointing east. My head was pointing east. As our Gurudev trained us like this. Head should be pointed east or south. If you're not feeling well, point your head to the south. It's good for recovery, good for health. The north and west they create magnetic disturbances and also cause ill health. So anyway, we're observing this. This is a yoga principle, and also Guruji taught us this. So I was making a point to point east, and I noticed that they had their heads pointed west. I said, why are you sleeping this way? Because it's said in Yoga Shastra that we should face like this. He said, oh, but you understand, Vrindavan is that way. Vrindavan is west. We have left Vrindavan. We have come east. Vrindavan is behind us. It's to the west. So I always keep my head pointed towards Vrindavan, because I'm born in Vrindavan. So all of a sudden, I turned around and joined the Brijvasis and said, Jai Ho, Yoga Principles, Jai Radhe, and I slept next to the Brijvasis with my head pointed towards Vrindavan. Shri Vrindavan Dhama Ki Jai. So if one is away from the Holy Dham, living in Ruski land, Ruski Desh, Ruski Gram. There's Nandagram, Marsanagram, and Ruski Gram. Ruski Gram is one of the 13 forests of Vrindavan. It's one of the Durbans. Durban means distant forest. Durban. There's Dwadasavan and there's Durban. Durban means a distant forest of Vrindavan, Ruskivan. I'm from Ruskivan. I have my Leela there, Ruskivan. So when we're in Ruskivan, then we can think, oh, where should I... Oh, now, what time of the year? Where is Radharani? Oh, Radharani's in Yavat. Let me offer my obeisances. So in the morning you offer your obeisances first to Vrindavan, then to Mayapur, then to Puri, then to Yavat or Barsana. This is the teaching that we can bring down to the Adi Atmika level of me, myself, Atma, myself. How this verse applies to me. Even Lord Madhusudan, who is hard to attain, even by the best of yogis, Yogindra Durgamagatir, Yogindra Durgamagati, It's very difficult for the Indra of all yogis, the greatest yogis, Durgama. He has very difficulty attaining Krishna. He feels himself blessed. That unattainable Durlabh Bhagavan, very rarely attained Bhagavan, he feels blessed if he's touched by the slightest playful breeze coming from the tip of Radhika's garment. Not a full breeze, not a gushing wind, just the slightest playful breeze. It says, Vasan, the Vasan, that means your clothes, Vasan Anchala Kela Notita, Ota. Just a playful breeze from the tip of her arana or her sari. It comes that way, and it touches his body. Oh, what fortune I have! Dandabat, 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 Prishabharan, Nandini Jai, Dandabat. He feels blessed. I, the author of this verse, Prabodhananda Saraswati, Tunga Vidyasaki, he's saying, I offer my obeisances to any direction in which I may find this daughter of Maharaj Vrishabhanu. So that's where, so any direction I can find her, we can find her. We can also think, where is she at this time of the day? Where is Radharani right now at 11:30? Is she in Varsana? Yes or no?
No.
Is she in Yavat?
Yes.
No. Where is she? Huh? Radha Kund.
Heading towards you.
No, she's here. 11:25. She's here. Can't you smell the fragrance?
Yes.
Haribo! Don't joke. Be serious. Go outside and take a deep breath and smell Radharani's fragrance, because she's here. And Aprakat Leela, the unmanifested eternal Aprakat Nitya Leela. Prakat Leela and Aprakat. Prakat manifest, Prakash manifest, seen, visible, witnessable. Then Aprakat, Aprakash, not manifest, not seen by material eyes, but seen by spiritual eyes. Divya Chakshush. Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena. These eyes. So some people in the audience, they have transcendental noses and transcendental eyes, and they're perceiving Radha and Krishna's fragrance and darshan. Someone out there somewhere. So tomorrow we'll start the next verse 104, which is Radha Charana Renu.
It was very short.
Short and sweet. Tomorrow is the dust of Radha's feet. And that is very, very sweet. And that's also available all over Radhakund. So this is Radharas Sudhanidhi. Kind of a long way from Kapila's teaching. this verse is kind of like just got in a rocket ship and went to the spiritual world. But this is the prayojana, and we just went through the Sambandha and Avideya. So this is the prayojana. This is verse 104. Radha Charana Renu, the dust of Radha's feet. This is a good place to be. Yesham preksham vitarati navadara gadana ragan mega shamo madurananda murtir mukundali brindatavyam sumahima chamatkara karinyahokim tani prekshed bhuta rasa Nidanani Radha Padani. Nidanani Radha Padani. Of course, it's very poetical, but since we don't know anything about Sanskrit, we can't really speak or appreciate the poetry and the beauty of the Sanskrit. Mega Shama Madhura Madhurananda Murti Mukunda. You can see this. Ma. So much beautiful words are there. Saraswati Pad says, when will I be able to see Sri Radha's wonderful footprints that are like a treasure of ras, whose greatness causes great astonishment in Vrindavan, and that are searched for with great, generous, new and constant passion by cloud blue ever so sweet Mukunda. It's an interesting translation. So, Saraswati Pad, the devotee who's in the sadhaka vesh, absorbed in the mood of a sadhaka, he's living in Vrindavan and he's praying, oh, I'm here, I'm living in Vrindavan. He was doing bhajan near the bank of the Yamuna. This place is there, down near Raman Reti side. And he's saying, when will I see the wonderful footprints of Radharani? I'm looking for them, I'm praying to see them, I'm searching for them. And not only me, but even Krishna, even Krishnaji, even Bhagavan, even Mukunda, who this Madhurananda Murti Mukunda, even that's Madhurananda, this ever sweet and blissful form of bliss Mukunda himself, he's also looking. He's also looking for those footprints. And what will Krishna do when he finds the footprints of Radharani? It says that when he sometimes, there's one pastime described here, when the full moon is rising in the Sharad season, and Krishna sees the beautiful full moon over the Vrindavan sky, and he becomes very excited with loving sentiments and feelings towards Radharani. Then he wants to immediately run out and call her to his side to enjoy different pastimes in the forest, like rasa dance and Ban Bihar. So many wonderful pastimes. And as he's running to the trysting place or the Nikunj, then he may see, by chance on a footpath, he may see Radharani's footprints. Pati Pati Madana Madhukula Gokula Chandra Kalita Paramulam. And Sangit Madhava says that Gokula Chandra, he's intoxicated by intense desires to meet Radha. He's Madana Madakula. Mada means Kula means a host of, a family of, a group of. He's completely intoxicated by Madan, by Cupid. So when he's running down the footpath, he's, I have to meet my Radharani, I have to meet my Radharani, where is my Radharani, where is my Radharani? As soon as if he's running along the footpath and he sees in the footpath Radharani's footprints, then immediately, what does he do? He feels, this is so wonderful, and he immediately falls on the ground and he smears the dust of Radharani's footprints all over his whole body, because he has so much intense attachment to Radharani. Just seeing her feet, then he feels by rubbing the dust from Radharani's feet on his chest and his forehead and his body, that he'll find some relief, because even Radharani's footprints are so wonderful and sweet and powerful and influential. We can get some vague idea of this if you've ever seen someone rub the dust on their body with great affection. And the Bengali Vaishnavas, the Bengali Gaudiya Vaishnavas, the Bengali ladies, they're extremely appreciative of the dust of Vrindavan, because they've been told by their well-wishers, by their gurus and Mahajans, that there's something special in Vrindavan. And that special thing in Vrindavan will give you prema, which we mentioned earlier. And what gives prema in Vrindavan is the dust, the Renu, the Braja Raj. It gives prema. They're told that, and they hear it when they're in Bengal and they're attending Bhagavad Path. And the Gaudiya Vaishnavas are preaching, yes, in Jagannath Puri and Purushottam Kshetra, it's very easy. You can eat your way to God. You can eat your way to the spiritual world. You can attain Krishna Prem simply by taking Jagannath Mahaprasad. Jagannath Mahaprasad ki jai. So therefore, people love to go to Puri and become God conscious by eating up to the neck Jagannath Mahaprasadam. So then, when they come, then they go to Mayapur, and it says in Mayapur you can bathe in the waves of the Ganga Taranga. But there you bathe in the kirtan taranga, in the waves of kirtan. Kirtan, by taking part in the Sankirtan of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which is still going on in a grand way, and Navadvip Mandal, by bathing and swimming and diving in the Sankirtan Taranga, in the waves of Sankirtan, one can become thoroughly washed and cleansed and elevated and drowned and submerged in Krishna praying. So it's a wet experience there. You get praying by getting wet over there. And here you get praying by getting dry. So it's best to go to Mayapur and get wet. Then the dust will stick to you more. This is the practice. You go to Mayapur and you engage in lots of Sankirtan, and then all those waves of Kirtan Ras, all those waves of Kirtan Ras cover your mind and cover your heart and cover your body. So your body is Gila Sharir. Wet body. Is right? Gila Sharir. Wet body. You're soaked, you're drenched and soaked head to toe in a Kirtan Ras of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Sankirtan and Mayapur and Navadvip. And then you come to Braj. Brajadam, Vrindavan Dham, Ki Jai. And then you just roll in the dust of Radhakund and Sevakunj and Nidhiban. And then because your body and clothes are wet, then naturally dust will stick to your forehead and your back and everything. Stick nicely. Very nicely. You'll be painted, you'll be pasted up. And you'll roll in the back and the front. And this way you'll get praying by the dust of Vrindavan, honoring and worshipping and rolling in. So you can see, of course usually people aren't wet when they roll in the dust. But when you see these Bengali Vaishnavas they come into a temple, they have so much regard for the dust of Vrindavan. I watched in Dhira Damodara, especially during Kartik, I spent a few Kartiks there, living over there, and then so many people come, of course, to Dhira Damodara and Kartik. And Bengali ladies who come and they come in front of Damodar, and they roll this way and that way, and then so they cover as much as possible. Then they kneel there, and then they go like this, very like both hands. They extend their hands and just collect as so much dust as possible. And they go like this. And they stick it down their choli, and they rub all over their heart and over here and their belly, and they just give themselves a complete massage with a Braja Raj in front of Damodar's lotus feet and Sevakunj. I was like watching it, not too minutely I was watching, but I was saying, wow, they don't want to miss any parts, So, I've never seen any North Indian lady, right? They're like, what? They're allergic to the dust. I mean, they're afraid to get the dust on their new saris. They try to avoid it with a passion. But these Bengalis, I mean, they look like dust brooms or dust mops when they go out of the Sevakunj. So this is coming from up there. It's coming from the topmost level. Krishna himself is rolling in this dust in Vrindavan. God is rolling in the dust of Vrindavan. It's good enough for him. It should be good enough for you. And God is doing it. Oh, what are you doing? You're rolling in dust. Well, God does it. Krishna rolls in the dust to decorate his forehead with the dust of Radharani's feet. So this is some of the extraordinary mercy of. And then, he decorates himself, and that says here, he decorates himself with the dust. And then there's this nice anecdote about Jagannath Das Babaji, which is quite famous. It's in Braj Ke Bhakta, in the biography of Jagannath Das Babaji, in this book by O.P.L. Kapoor. It's in Hindi also, Braj Ke Bhakta. It talks about Jagannath Das Babaji. And what happened was, he was Siddha saint of Braj Mandal and Gaur Mandal. And he was regarded and respected by all the Vaishnavas highly. And one day, he went to a bangi. A bangi means a street sweeper. And they were sweeping the streets of Vrindavan, and in those days there were no asphalt roads and cement and all these bricks and things. It was mostly dusty paths. Lots of dust and dirt. Even when we first came to Vrindavan Prikam Marg, practically the whole marg around Vrindavan, I think without exception, was all dirt. Practically was all dirt. No asphalt, no pavement. Even up till almost up to 1989, maybe even 1990, large portions of it was dirt, because we did Dandabat Prikama Vrindavan in 1990 when we lived at Radha Damodara. And it was so wonderful to lie in the dust of Vrindavan here and there and everywhere. And now you can't find any dust on the Parikama Marg. It's all asphalt, every inch of it. But at any rate, so Jagannath Das Babaji, one day he said, "Hey Bungi," or whatever. He said, "May I please have some roti from you?" Now Bungi is considered very low class and like Muchi type, always cleaning the gutters and sewers and sweeping the streets, and not very clean. So he is a Siddha Mahatma, maybe even Brahmin by birth, I don't know his caste, but he was highly regarded as a great Siddha saint of Braj. So all the Babajis and Brahmins and all the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, they would worship him and associate with him and honor him. So now he took a roti from a Bungi, and he ate it with great appreciation. He honored the Bungi Prasad. And it became the response among the community, the Vaishnava Samaj, Vaishnava Raja Sabha, was a huge outcry. They were really, what is this? What is this? He's defaming the Gaudiya Vaishnavas. What is he doing? This is sacrilegious. What's going on here? So then they met him, and then someone, a spokesman for the group, they said they heard about this strange phenomenon that he ate this roti. And then he explained to them. He said, "Listen," he explained. And this is what he said to them. He said, "Listen, do you understand? These Bungis are always serving the dust of Braj. Therefore, they're the most fortunate living entities. They're not mere street sweepers. They're the most fortunate and elevated munis and rishis. And somehow they have taken birth in outcast families simply to have the opportunity to serve the dust of Brajadham." So you're seeing with your external vision. What is this called? A lokik, or lokik vichar. Or what do we say when we analyze like Leelas or Shastra? There's Adibhotika vichar, Adhyatmika vichar, and then Adidaivika vichar. So the Bhotika conception is the external conception, the sensual conception, what you see with your senses, what you perceive with your senses or mind, very gross perception. We saw you take a roti from a Bungi. That's a no-no. But they could not see on the subtle level. So what is the subtle level? The subtle level is the Adhyatmika level. The subtle level. The subtle level is they're not Bungis, they're Munis, they're Rishis. You don't know. Do you know their last life? It's like he sees, oh, you're Ruski. You're from Russia. But how do you see his last life? He's a Nitya Ruski? Eternal Ruski. Life after life, he's born in Ruski land. And last life, maybe he's born in Vrindavan, in Govardhan. How do you know? You know? You don't know. What can you see? But if you go to Briga Rishi, who can see the past, present, and future, the son of Brahma, Manasaputra of Brahma, then he can tell you, oh, in his last life he was born in Mathura. He was the son of a Brahmin. And then you'll be amazed. Acha. So therefore, Jagannath Das Babaji, being a Siddha, he can see past, present, and future like Brigu. He said they're not Bungis, they're Munis and Rishis. And last night they were big Munis, and at the end of their life they said, "Oh Krishna, I was this big Muni, this big Rishi, but I finally realized the glories of your Brajadham. But I was so puffed up and proud of my Rishihood and my Brahmanhood that everyone's worshipping me. I had this big ashram. I said, I don't want any of this crap. I don't want any of this distinction. Give me a low birth. Give me a low birth so I can appreciate the dust of Vrindavan. Just let me be fixed and fast in the dust of Vrindavan. Let everybody laugh at me and deride me and kick me and pigs bite me and dogs chase me. I don't care. But just let me stick to the dust of Vrindavan because I know that this dust will liberate me and give me a position in your eternal Nityadam. Please bless me. So this was their dying prayer, these great Munis and Rishis. So they came back as Vrindavan Bungis. This is what Jagannath Das Babaji saw.
Can I comment?
Yeah.
It's a saying here that the signs, there are some signs of auspiciousness, and it said that if you go out to do something and if you see a Bungi, it's very auspicious.
Yes.
And if you see a Brahmin, it's not auspicious. Bungi is auspicious. So which means it's like that. There must be Munis and Rishis, so it's giving auspiciousness when you see them.
That's interesting. Interesting statement. So this is some local consideration, because there's a book called Samudrika, and it describes different auspicious symptoms of the body, individual bodies, and also environmental, what the West they call omens, or in the shamans, and the good omens and bad omens, and eagle flying over the cactus, Don Juan, journey to Ixtlan, or whatever it is. So these are called omens in the West, but apparently if a crow lands, alights on the eastern wall of your house in the morning, and he says, "Ah!" What he's telling you, what he's saying, what he's announcing is, they're coming. Someone is coming to see you. And we find, since we're living in a village, and we're a little bit aware of these things, it's kind of a quiet area here, that they're actually true. Some of the things are quite correct. That every time a crow will come and sit on the eastern fence, caw, caw, then that day some guests will come from Delhi or India or anywhere. Every time. And even the chowkidar tells me, he says, "Oh, guests are coming." I said, "Why?" He said, "Look," and he goes, "Caw, caw." He's saying they're coming. He's saying, "Caw, they're coming." So if you know that, then you make some food ready, or because you know you get ready, or clean the guest room or whatever. Get out the red carpet, and then And then if there's so many things. It's like unlimited stuff.
Leave town.
Yeah. Leave town. The bill collector's coming. Caw. Bill collector's coming. Oh, sure. Thanks a lot. See you around. And your wife said, you deal with it. I'll be. Just tell him I'm out of town now. And you go down to Govardhan and hang out with the Goswamis at Jatipur. So this is Krishna is so much appreciating this dust. Of course, we're discussing the dust of Vrindavan, but specifically we're discussing the dust of Radharani's feet. And this is one of the specialities of Vrindavan. Like people say, what's so special about Vrindavan? It's Vrindavan. I go, my place is quiet, it's clean, there's no Brahmins harassing me, no pigs, dogs, this, that. And it's nice, the water's sweet, and flowering trees, and nice fruits, and all the trees here are full of thorns, and thorn trees and babo trees, and the water's all salty, and people are all grouchy, and the Brahmins are all pushy and aggressive, and all the shop owners are cheats, and everyone's ripping me off at every time and place, and I just let me go back home and be happy. But back home and being happy, there's some very important elements that make up Vrindavan which are not available in your back home comfy place. One is the dust of Vrindavan. The other is Giri Govardhan. And the other is Yamuna River, whatever is left, whatever trickles through time to time, whenever they open the dam, whatever is left of the Yamuna. So these things, and the other most extraordinary thing that makes Vrindavan the most extraordinary place in the entire universe, there's millions and millions of planets in the whole universe, but in Vrindavan, what makes it extraordinary is the footprints of God. This is like we're so dull we don't realize how significant is this. These people, they fly all around the universe in these big noisy rocket ships. And they bring back a couple useless rocks and they stick it in the Air and Space Museum in Washington D.C. They put it on a pedestal. They put ropes around it. They put a guard there, and it looks. And people come up and touch their head to it and say, "This is a moon rock, Chandra Shila." And people from all around the world come and do puja to the Chandra Shila. And we used to stand up front and sell books, Bhagavatams. There's a big, and they all pay $1, and they have to wait in line. There's a big guard there, and they all come and touch their head to it. Sometimes they bathe the Shila with their tears of love for the astronauts and love for America. They did it. They went to the moon and brought back a rock. Wow, wonderful! So people think it's amazing. It's wonderful. And if you go to America, you must go to Washington D.C. and see the moon rock and take darshan and do puja, the Chandra Shila, and do prikrama there. It's on a pedestal, so you can do prikrama. It's like a stamba. And thousands and millions of people from Australia and Japan and China and America and South America, everyone comes to do puja and have darshan of this amazing, wonderful thing. This Chandrashila, this moon rock, which looks like any damn rock on the street. I can go out in the front of the place and I can hold up and say, this is a moon rock too, I'll sell you one, $1. It exactly looks the same as that one. There's no chakras. There's no white lines like a Brahman thread. There's no long noses like a Hayagriva, or there's no little flippers like Kurma. There's no mean faces. And in Shalagram Shilas, they have all these different markings of different avatars. They're so interesting. There's chakras inside. There's Sudarshan chakra. There's a mouth going Ugra Nashrin. Look inside the mouth, and there's a design of a chakra inside there, and one on the top, one on the bottom. Now that's a cool rock. Now that's really special. This rock is just a little square black thing. Nothing. No chakras, nothing special. And people are like flocking from the whole Europe, from the whole world to go see it. And we're living in Vrindavan, which has you can see the footprints of God, Krishna, and Radharani in the ground. You can see and put your head there and touch them. And we think, so what? What's a big deal? All right already. This is big. This you won't find. Can you find the footprints of God in New York? In Mexico City? Is it right? Not possible. So that's one thing. It's so. Even right now, I take in a car and I'm going to go and drive 10 minutes and show you God's footprint in 10 minutes. 10 minutes from here.
Yes, let's go.
So it's like that. And what to speak 10 minutes in 30 seconds? We have the eyes to see, as we were saying yesterday. We can just walk over to Radhakund, into Manasapavan Ghat. And Radharani is standing there, about to walk over there. She'll leave her footprints. And every day the sweepers are sweeping Radharani's footprints off, so you have to get there early before they sweep them off. They sweep the steps every day. And the 19 marks are there, 19 auspicious marks. So we'll stop there. Is there any further comments? We're so fortunate. Just go drop your head in one of Krishna's footprints if you start to become familiar with Brajadam. Start to think it's an ordinary place. It's the most extraordinary, dynamic place in the entire universe. The entire universe is submerged, it's burnt. Every planet in the universe gets toasted in a microwave. Nantashesh has this huge microwave. And he puts all the planets in the microwave and cranks it up and burns them all up. Then once he's roasted them to a nice crispy black color, then he drops them in the ocean, cools them off. It rains for 12,000 celestial years and floods the whole universe. But when all that's going on, Brajadam is one lotus, just sitting above it all. It doesn't get scorched. Not even one leaf on one tree gets burned. Not even one leaf on one tree of Brajadam gets burned when the entire universe is devastated. And then when that huge flood, all the rain in the whole universe is falling day and night for 12,000 years and floods the entire universe. Then Braj is like sitting above that water, like a lotus flower above the water of a lake, dry as a bone, dry and sweet. Sweet, dry, colorful, beautiful, and fragrant. Because Brajadam is transcendental. Brajadam is a spiritual world. It has nothing to do with this material universe. The material universe, avyakta, it comes and goes. Brajadam is eternal. So we should have so much regard and respect for Brajadam. Sometimes we were born here in last life and we lived here. Then in the next life you have to take birth in Australia. It happens. Especially nowadays, you see so many people in Vrindavan. I want to go to America. They wear t-shirts. I love New York. I love San Francisco. I want to go to America. That's called bhav. They're physically not there, but their mind is hankering. I want. I love America. I love American movies. I love American people. I love. So that creates deep bhav. That's called bhav. Yam vapi swaran bhavam tyachi janta kalevaram. Krishna says your kalevaram comes later. First your bhav. Whatever bhav you remember at the time of death. Smaran bhav. So this bhav, this smaran, this thinking, remembering. So you're thinking America, 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 and then you go there, and then because you have so much punya from living in Brajadam and did so many things, then you're born in a very wealthy family, have so much wealth and good education and influence, friends, everything. And then at some point again you think, oh, Balihai may call you anytime, anywhere. So Vrindavan calls you. It says, okay, time is up, get out of the prison. And at the age of 36, you come back to Brajadam. Right? And that's it. Back home, back to Godhead. Prison over. 36 years of prison over. That sanskara finished. Back to Braj. So we know by our own personal life that this is a fact. So everyone, their time, at a certain time, their prison sentence is over, and then they're allowed out of prison, back into their home. Right? You have this experience, Manjari? It's like that. I know, I'm just speaking autobiographically, what I said. I know very clearly about my last life, and this life, it's obvious. And this is the history. This is the history of one jiva. It can happen to anybody. You're sitting here in India, the next don't, hey, wah, wah. Cat and dog. Then you learn English, cat and dog. Where's your Brajbas? Where's your Hindi? I don't know, I forgot. It's really covered over. Well, it's fashioning a new fashion, huh? That's a mala choker. Look at one of those big Siddha Babas with their Tulsi necklaces. Hare Krishna. Imagine what the real baby Radha looked like in Raval. Because there was a real baby Radha that was here 5,000 years ago. She was born and she appeared in Raval. And she lived there for 3 years. How old is she? 4? 5? How old? 4. So she lived there for 3 years, and then she moved to Ral. No, not Ral. Ral. And Krishna moved to Chatikar, which is on this road. She stayed in Ral. So when she was this age, she was living in Ral. And seeing Krishna, and they were playing in the dirt together and push each other down. Krishna would pull her hair, and then she would chase him. And this was going on. Her name is Radha. So it's supposed to be Udipan, to remember, think of Krishna's Leela, how sweet, how intimate, how wonderful. Chaitanya Bhagavat ki jai. Excuse me, Radha Rasudan ki jai. Anything? Any more comments?
So 3.5 when you moved to Chatikar.
It's about that, something like that. Because they say it's in thirds. 1/3 Gokul, 1/3 Chatikar, 1/3 Nandagaon. So and he's about 10 and 3/4, say roughly 11. So 3 and 3s is 9, and you add 4 months here and there, that becomes 10. It's like something like 3 years, 6 months in each place, something like that. 3.5. What do you say? 3.5. It's about 3.5 in each place. Huh?
3 and 4.
3 years, 4 months. Yeah, I think that's correct. I think you have a good memory. 3, it's something like that, because then 4 times 3 is 12, so 9 that becomes 10. But it's a little more, because at least that may be one Acharya is telling like that, and we accept that. But Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur was saying that he was 10 years, 7 months, and so many days when he left. So that becomes more than 3 years and 4 months, right? It's more than 10. So it's 3 years and 5 months, 5.5 months, 3 years and 6 months, in Gokul. Then when he came to Chatikar, from 3.5 and 3.5 till 7. Roughly when he started, 6 years old, 7, when he got the name Gopal, and he started to take out the cows. He started his Gocharan Leela in Chatikar at the age of 6. It was called Gopastami. In Kartik, there's a day called Gopastami. And that's when Nanda Baba decided that the little boy crawling around Chatikar was sufficiently mature enough to take out the cows. So then he started to take out the cows from Chatikar at the age of about 6, 7. And then shortly after that they moved to Nandagan. So from the age of 7 to 10 and a half or so, he stayed in Nandagan. But remember, the maturity is 1.5 times. So he was 10, but 10 plus 5, 15. 15 years, 9 months, 27, no, 15, what was it? 15 years, 9 months, 27, no, 7 days, 7.5 days. Yeah, that's what, in the, what's that? Bhattati, Dhyan Chandra gives that age of Krishna. 15 years, 9 months, 7.5 days. And then it says, excuse me? He would come to Vrindavan. I guess, I suppose so, because he was, of course he was coming every night. He was coming to Sevakunj and Nidhiban. That's Vrindavan. Excuse me? No, what our acharyas say, that, and that's explained also in Nanda Vrindavan Champu, that he lived in Chatikar. He never lived in Vrindavan, whatever. Of course, if you say Vrindavan, meaning Vrindavan forest, then it's Nandagan, Varsana, Govardhan, Ramanreti, Nidhivan, it's all the forest of Vrindavan, of the Dwadasa Van. That is the Van called Vrindavan. So it's hard to answer. Yes, he lived in Vrindavan, the forest of Vrindavan. But within that forest, the village he stayed in which is now called Chatikar.
Then why they have the particular areas called Rasamandal and even in this Radha Krishna also?
Excuse me?
In Vrindavan we have the Parikrama area.
Yes.
That's called the Rasamandal.
Yeah, they say within that Parikrama circle, there's the Rasamandal, because it's there.
So that's how Krishna was going from there every night.
Well, from Chatikar, that wasn't the time for his Rasa Leela, but when he's living in Nandagan, from Nandagan he was going by Yogamaya's arrangement. He would just step out of his house and within a few seconds he would arrive at Keshigat or Vamshivat and play his flute and call the gopis there and have to the Rasamandal and have his rasa dance. That was Nandagan Leela, part of Nandagan, which is also Vrindavan forest. That's my understanding.
Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Haraniyasya Jiyaviti Maiti Vashanti Panti Karanti Srilam Jagati Ananda Chimaya Sadhu Jaya Vikrasa Govinda Adipurusham Govinda Jayanta Shama Shunda Jayarata Lalita Shakurava Nizam Shakra Jayarade Radha Vibhavishaka Radha Jayarate 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 Ugrana Sudhadara, 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 Ulana Simha, Ulana Simha, Jaya Guru, Jaya, Shodamaya, Jaya, Mudra, Yashodamaya, Jaya, Jaya, Mudra, Blessing, baby, Jaya Brinda, baby.
Krishna Vidaya Srimati Bhakti Dhira Swami Krishna Krishna Hari Hari Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Ram Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
No, no. The one we use for the addition, the rubber got burnt. We're trying to melt it. So I'm not putting this inside the container.
Mm-hmm.